Hello, today is Saturday, May 16th, I think. I just looked at the date. Saturday, May 16th, that is week 38, day 7, Azrael Johnson, and this is a, a walking vlog, I guess. Okay, so a few days ago, I was reminded by Skylark that I never actually got around to talking about the how I got here story, and it's like I've told it in bits and pieces, and I've told the majority to some people personally, but I haven't talked about the whole thing, and so I figured today is as good a day as any to tell the whole thing. Those of you who've seen my videos, my live streams, when I first got to China, will recognize the scenery behind me. For a while I was doing like the morning, just talking about things that happened in China, and been feeling kind of in a creative rut lately, so I need to change things up. So this is one step towards changing those things up. So names of people will be changed for the most part, as I did not gain their consent to use their names before talking about this. It's not, if I sound emotional at any point, it may actually be because I'm emotional, but it may just be because I am walking. So, also it's 8 o'clock in the morning, so forgive any lapses in grammar. So anyway, yeah, just a few weeks ago, one of my authors, who I will refer to as Contact, who I have referred to as Contact in the past also, they posted on their wall, their Facebook wall, they said, "Hey, does anyone want to come teach with me in China?" And I thought, as a goof, I would say, yeah. I don't know. What did I say? I said, so, I mean, I could teach them, but I really probably couldn't teach them anything except poetry. And it was a joke. It was meant to be a joke. And, laughing and etc. Moving on. And I didn't unfollow the post, so I kept getting notifications about it. And then someone else asked, what are the minimum requirements? And so Contact responded to that post saying, oh, you have at least a minimum of a bachelor's degree. You don't really need teaching experience. And I mean, I've helped out with some workshops and stuff like that, so my teaching experience is minimal, but I do have the bachelor's degree. One of the things I was really adamant about getting my bachelor's degree for like verification that, hey, I'm smart reasons, So I inquired further. I said, well, okay, so maybe I can do this. Like, taking it out of the joke area and becoming a little more realistic about it. So Contact and I discussed it. I asked for the basics. I don't know if I need to talk about the basics. 16 teaching hours, which equates to 45 minutes on the hour and 10 to 15 minutes of break time between classes. A fairly, I won't say lucrative, salary, but enough to get by here in China. I'm not going to edit this, so there's going to be some pauses for sure while I think of whatever else happened. Get my own apartment, 2 bedrooms. I wanted to see inside of Contact's apartment to be like, so like, how much am I getting? That didn't actually happen. I kind of took that one on faith. So anyway, I ended up downloading WeChat, talking with, I don't know how to refer to them. One of my supervisors talked on WeChat. They got, you know what? This sounds like a good idea. So I talked with Skylark, because Skylark and I were together then. I said, hey, so this is the thing. Here are the salary required. Here are the salary parameters. I get my own apartment. You can come visit. Like, it's not like, by saying that I mean like it's a free thing. Like, she could come visit, and it wouldn't be a big issue. So she agreed that I should do this. So I started making the arrangements. I needed to get and make sure. Well, I had my passport already because Skylark and I had made sure our passports were valid for the Canada trip. One of the Canada trips. Well, one of the trips that included Canada, I should say. And so I needed to get my visa, which I will talk about. And that shit was annoying, and expensive. And so yeah, so I started down that road of getting everything sorted out. I was working at the real estate office as the secretary. When I first started inquiring about the trip to China, the job in China, I was working full 40-hour weeks, getting decent enough pay. I didn't want to tell them anything until all of my ducks were in a row, so I didn't want them to think like, hey, I might do this thing, so you should feel unsure about the thing that I'm doing. I had made sure that my contract was signed and that I had my visa and everything like that ready before I told them. Not long after I told them, I got bumped down to... Oh, no, you know what? That's out of order. So, the visa process was a bit more expensive than I knew it should be. So one of my colleagues was able to get their visa and such set up for, I think, a third of the price I paid. I paid close to $1,500 US for my visa and everything that I needed, because the service that I was using said I needed more documentation than I actually needed, and there was a lot more time put into it. This part is kind of embarrassing because I should have researched it more. I was thinking, well, I mean, 1,500 sounds like a reasonable amount, and so I just kind of went with it. I should have researched it. I should have tried out different services and found a better deal. So when I inevitably make an ebook about traveling to China, I don't know, whatever, maybe do that. I will make sure to impress upon the ebook readers not to spend so goddamn much. Why is my finger weird? I just noticed my finger had something on it. So anyway, so this is a fault about me, at least in 2019. I just kind of would do things sometimes, especially involving money, and I kind of made some, no, I didn't kind of, I made some assumptions about money that I should not have made, and I didn't tell Skylark or our roommate about those assumptions that I made until well into the process of making those assumptions. In other words, I wasn't paying my part of the rent for a considerable amount of months. I wasn't going to talk about the financial stuff, but you know what, fuck it. Anyway, so yeah, I accrued some debt with Skylark, which I need to pay off, which I am paying off monthly. Anyway, that's all the financial boring stuff. During the process of getting my visa, I had also prior to that, I had accumulated a vast number of used books for our bookstore at Culp's Attic, downtown Canton. We're going to be there till at least July, so you guys should buy books from us/Skylark. Anyway, when I had started accumulating the books, the China plan was not in action, and I'd gotten kind of behind on cataloging the books. This was due mainly to a significant amount of burnout from the real estate job, because most everything I do to make money or in my leisure time involves a computer, and so like that includes writing nights. All of my books are formatted on the computer, and I thought initially that the real estate job was going to be really good because it involved all of my... I keep messing with my beard. It keeps tickling my mouth. I'm thinking of shaving it tomorrow. Anyway, or my mustache. My beard, maybe I'll keep it. I don't know. But anyway, so I thought the real estate job was going to be really good. And the real estate job itself was really good. It was, I mean, it was a job. It was a standard job doing things for a company, right? But I did it again. Anyway, the problem was all the things that I wanted to do in my spare time with writing nights and writing itself, I was kind of using my allotted brain time on the computer for the real estate job, and that was burning me out when I wanted to do things for writing nights. Now, I was able to finish Indigo Inquest while I was working at the real estate job, and do a little bit of starting on Mists of Green, and it was fine, except I was not wanting to do anything with writing nights at all. So I got really behind on formatting books and just didn't want to do anything with it. That, coupled with the used bookstore, I was really behind on using the spreadsheet to just catalog the books. I was, all of my shit was piling up, and it's all my fault. It's not like I'm blaming anyone. Just I didn't have any help because I couldn't have afforded to pay for it. Although there were a few days when I had typing parties where I would have people come over and just type books, put them in a database, and those were fun. But I never really caught up. And so through all the months that I was working, I worked all the way up until I finally left for China. I did live stream the last video I took in America with Skylark. Did it again. I did show that video. I'll probably put it on the YouTube site eventually. Anyway, so I worked at the real estate office all the way up until the last time I was in America. But just after I told them that I was going to China, they decided, and for good reason, because most of my work was usually done by halfway through the day. They cut my hours in half, from 40 to 20 hours. Now, if I was a little more frugal, I could have probably still made everything work. To be honest, I could have probably continued to pay rent. I just forgot. And it's not like it wasn't important to me to remember. It was just other things. They got in the way. They distracted me. I should have made some kind of alarm on my phone or a direct deposit or something to transfer whatever money I needed to transfer per week. I should have been better at communicating. Entirely my fault. Probably should have outdone this. So I accumulated a significant amount of debt with Skylark. So that's one of the things that I will probably talk about in whatever guide I end up writing. Like, don't accumulate debt. Don't leave a mess for the people you're leaving behind. I mean, I'm not leaving behind, but you know what I mean. So let's see. Another one of my tasks was to clean up whatever areas I had left. I was thinking about getting a storage unit, which hindsight I probably should have, but I need a drink. My mouth is dry. Okay, so I didn't get a storage unit because I thought, well, what if I'm only here a year? What if I hate it? When I come here, absolutely hate it, I'll want to come back, right? Now, granted, everyone who I talk to, like, well, all right, there's only the two. Okay, so Contact and I guess I'll call them Cricket because that's kind of their nickname. All right, so Contact, who I've obviously been in contact with, and another poet friend whom I will refer to as Cricket because that's how they refer to themselves, I guess. They both told me that they loved it here. And I'm like, all right, well, maybe. That was a possibility I brought up with Skylark. Like, well, if I like it, I might want to stay, you know? I wouldn't want to leave. That's what so it was less that I would want to stay and more that I wouldn't want to leave and then try to come back. So, like, if I liked it and I said, hey, Skylark, you should come out. You should come and we can stay in the same apartment and we can both teach or something to that effect. Or I can be here, you can live in the apartment, you can write or create or whatever. I didn't want to leave to go back to the U.S. and then try to come back, because I wasn't sure about like the logistics of it, and if I left China, would I not want to come back even if I did like it? Like if I left for a semester, just this is all like in 2019. This is all just in 2019 and me thinking about how I should handle my shit, basically. Hindsight, of course, being so 2020 as it is, I should have gotten this. I should have gotten the storage unit. I should have just moved everything out. And even if Skylark and I hadn't broken up, I should have done it, because I could have moved everything that I had into that storage unit. And then Skylark wouldn't have had to deal with it after I left, because I left her far too much to do after I left. There was too much garbage in my wake. Garbage metaphorically. I didn't throw trash around. Yeah, basically I should have handled my shit before I left. So that's an admission on my part. So yeah, I think if I missed any, I probably missed something, and I'm sure once the video comes out, Skylark will remind me of things that I didn't say. But anyway, yeah, so I accumulated more debt. I left garbage in my metaphorical garbage in my wake. But I got my passport and visa finally. Got everything sorted. It involved being on a road trip and stopping in Columbus to like get something sorted out there, like something stamped, and then mailing it in Columbus to New York, wherever the embassy was. It was a weird situation, but it's fine. I got it sorted. We got it sorted. Skylark, by the way, was an absolute peach to deal with, because she was very supportive, and I appreciate that of her. I didn't tell her that nearly enough. I tried to tell her. Again, my fault. I should have been better at telling her that I appreciated her through the whole ordeal. Anyway, yeah, so got all my stuff sorted. Multiple trips to FedEx to send multiple different documents. Trying to think of what else. I think my car had some issues a couple times. Basically, part of my thought process of not continuing to pay rent was that the visa process was so expensive. That was also part of it. Like, part of it was I forgot, and then after I got cut down to 20 hours, it was like, the visa process is so expensive that maybe I can't afford it. Because, I mean, I had half the money coming in at that point. So, just a little defense of myself, I guess. Which, I mean, I don't need. It's fine. Trying to think if there's any other thing we're talking about. So, yeah, I mean, how I got here. I feel. Dare I do it again? It's sort of nostalgic. I mean, as nostalgic as a year ago can be, or less than a year ago. Just thinking about if there's anything else, I mean, that kind of covers it, I think. The process was nerve-wracking, but in a good way. Like, it was like I'm moving forward towards something, taking myself out of my comfort zone, so to speak. Worth it in the sense that it was a good experience. Money-wise, I could have gotten a better deal. I think that's really all there's to say about how I got here. I had a script initially, and then I had to put the script aside because I just had other things going on. Me doing this now is my way of breaking my habits. So as you all know, or most of you know, I had shingles a few weeks ago, and it was, alright, it's not the worst pain I've ever been in. It's not the itchiest I've ever been. But, like, there was a lot of pain in the back of my head, and then my neck. Oh my god, my neck. Ugh. Like, alright, I feel like I'm someone who usually deals with pain well. I feel like this is my own self-assessment. I've never broken a bone. I have twisted my ankle thousands, well, maybe not thousands, hundreds of times, to the point where I thought it was broken. To the point where I can't even run. When I first got to China, I'm like, I'm gonna get in shape, because if I don't, I will die when the summer comes, basically. So I tried to start running when I first got here. I think I had talked about this. And I ended up something happened with my knees and my ankles, because I am 230 pounds, and I shouldn't be 230 pounds. So, anyway, I'm just talking about pain to describe the shingles. Anyway, yeah, so I ended up in so much hindering kind of pain that, I couldn't run anymore. So the shingles, there was a lot of pain. Like, there was the bump sites, which were itchy, but never, like, consistently itchy. Not itchy like a sunburn, but, like, itchy like a bunch of mosquito bites. And that's what I thought they were at first. I thought that there was some kind of bug in my apartment that had bit me, and then I had reacted to it. Because I don't go out. How can I catch a fucking virus, right? So, apparently I did. Or something was inside me. See, I don't remember ever having chickenpox as a child, so I don't know. Anyway. Oh. Every time I take a drink is another lap around the... I think this is starting lap 4. And it's 28 minutes, so... So shingles. And then my neck. The left side of my neck. It doesn't hurt as much now. Like, occasionally I'll get, like, a little... But it felt like... on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being no pain, 10 being all the pain, it was like a 7 or 8. 8 at the worst. My poem, Second Worst Pain, where, for spoiler alert, where I'm talking about having the worst case of blue balls I've ever had, was probably a 9. My worst pain that I can remember was my toothache when I was in Wisconsin, and I would have called that probably a 10. That was, like, paralyzing pain. Now, I've never given birth, never broken a bone, I've never, like, lost a limb, so maybe my scales of pain will change if I have those experiences. Minor aside, I've been watching Brave Wilderness on YouTube with Coyote Peterson, who is from Ohio, by the way. And he used to go to different exotic locations and get stung by the local, like, badass insect that stings you and you hate yourself for a significant amount of time afterward. So anyway, yeah. I'm not that guy. So maybe if I have those experiences, I will change. Like, I've been stung by a wasp. It didn't hurt as much. It was the after effects. Anyway, back to shingles. So yeah. So there was the pain. There was so much fatigue. Like, I still feel sort of fatigued. That's why I'm walking fairly slowly as opposed to walking quickly or running. Well, not that, and I don't run. It's a recent experience, and it's weird for me to talk about that now compared to what I was just talking about. But yeah, so the shingles are the fucking pits. Worst sickness I've ever had, probably. I mean, other than diabetes, but diabetes isn't gonna go away. The shingles eventually did. So, and then for 2-3 weeks after the shingles, I think this is week 4 after shingles. I feel a little more myself. Not quite 100%, but that's why I'm exercising now to, like, kind of build my stamina back up, build my immune system back up. Yeah. Sorry, pauses. Why did I start talking about shingles? If I were editing this, I would put, like, little question marks over my face. Like, why the fuck am I talking about shingles? Anyway, yeah, Oh, because I was distracted from writing. Yeah, so I haven't written... Well, until like, last week, I hadn't written anything on Dragon's Bane for a good... January, so, like, 4 months. I written the first 8 chapters of Mist of Green, and then a little bit into the 9th chapter, and I just kind of quit. Which is stupid. And also, get in the way. Everything gets in the way. Because Mist of Green is set in China. It's not modern China. It's not a modern-ish China. It's a China in 1313. But still, I should have been writing it, or at least that's where one of the characters is starting out, making their voyage, and then, COVID starts happening, which COVID itself hasn't scared me as much as the potential effects on the people that I care about. I've never been worried about getting COVID. I've been more worried about all of my friends getting COVID and me not being able to do anything for them to help them out. So all of you back in Ohio, I love you, I miss you. Be safe. That's not the end of the video, but I'll say that again at the end. Skylar came to visit late January. I think the last chapter I'd worked on was just before she came to visit. I won't talk about our 2 weeks together. I'll do that in a different video. I'll ask her before I do anything about that. And then, we broke up. So, dealing with some depression associated with the breakup, Started working. Like, I was taking a vacation because I was on winter vacation. I started working on school stuff to distract myself and also to get it done. Just everything became more urgent than writing on Mr. Green. Yeah, so I'm trying to think if there's. I hadn't been writing poetry, like a little bit. Every once in a while I'd have a smidge of poetry come out. Or I had a week or two where I was just having crazy dreams about random things. And so I would write those down. Those are on the website. But yeah, stress was really like, alright, so I guess I don't consciously acknowledge the stress here. I love it here. I will stay here. I've got a contract for next year. I love it. I'm staying. But I mean, there's still stresses. Of course there's stresses. I have time limits, deadlines, stuff like that. Things I need to do for my classes. And COVID has made this a little worse in some cases, because every week I need to remember to take pictures of the textbook that I want the class to read and get their vocabulary words from. And then the vocabulary words themselves, I have to make sure that I'm telling them, like, hey, this definition is wrong, stuff like that. So yeah, there's a lot of things distracting me from writing. I also need to figure out an alternate revenue stream. I've got, money is always something that stresses me out. Like, some people can handle money like crazy, and those people are better than me in that case. Anyway, yeah, I need to figure out an alternate revenue stream. Contact mentioned something about white monkey jobs. If you don't know what that is, a white monkey job is a Chinese company will pay you to be white, just in their advertisement. So that's it. That's you're white. They take a picture of you doing something, or maybe just standing, and they give you money. I haven't done one of those yet. I've done non-paid white monkey gigs, but those are kind of part of the job here. But I need to figure out a revenue stream, and I mean, writing is something I'm good at. It's one of the only things I am good at, so I figured going into that a little bit would help me. But at the same time, I need to make sure that I'm still fulfilling myself creatively. Oh, wow. It took me 10 minutes to go around the track. So yeah, there's been a lot of stressing things around me. And I haven't been doing the live streams, mostly because I took the Facebook app off my phone. Oh, I need a drink. And it's easier to live stream through the Facebook app. But here I am. The live streams, the talking, has made me feel better in many cases. So I'm gonna start doing it again. I need to walk anyway. I need to get up earlier. I need to get to bed later. Or get to bed earlier. Get up earlier. I need to carve out more time to improve myself. I don't know, I've not been doing a good job of that lately. Insomnia has got me bad, and then it makes the rest of my day kind of less fulfilling because I'm not doing the things that I need to be doing. But I'm working on it. It's a step-by-step process, especially backwards. Not really sure if there's anything else to say. I mean, I don't want to go into any other stories, I guess. I guess I'll talk about plans. Alright, so with the whole COVID thing, my plan to come back to America over the summer may be postponed until the winter, because if it's not safe for me to come back to China from the US, I won't do it. Because if I go to the US and then I get stuck there, there's a significant possibility that I will not be able to continue to teach. Like, yes, I could do it online, but that's not how I want to teach. Like, teaching online has been fine, and especially with the shingles, it's a good thing that I was teaching online, because if I had to teach in person, there's no fucking way I would have been able to do it. I would have been on my ass. Like, I would have been fucking sick and bumps on my fucking head. Saying a lot of fucking. So in that regard, online teaching has been a blessing. Where it's not been a blessing is I've missed seeing the students. I like seeing the students. It's easier for me to motivate them when they can see me giving them judging looks and scowling. And yes, I could do video. It just doesn't feel the same doing video. I only did video one time with the first class. I'm like, nah, this isn't gonna work. We're gonna do audio, and that's it. And it's been working fine. Online teaching is not a bad thing. It's not my preferred way of doing it. So back to plans. I don't want to go to America this summer unless I know for sure I can get back. So if the virus is still running wild in America on the summer, I'm not going to be visiting, because I need to be able to get back here to do this job. And I really like this job. Really like this job. And I know I say that every time I get a good job. I've had some pretty good jobs and be like, oh, this job's the best. But this is the best job. I like making a difference. It's a good thing for me. Anyway, yeah, so if I don't come during the summer, I will need to get some help to move my stuff into a storage unit. That's all like technical stuff that I'll take care of on my own off camera. But the next likely time would be next winter vacation at the end of December. That honestly seems more feasible, because I don't know when COVID is going to run its course in America, or we're going to develop a vaccine or anything like that. So I'm still kind of aiming at end of July, early August, but it might not be until December, January. Now, if everything sorts out, I'll go almost as soon as I can. Like, I have to wait a week after a semester is over in case there are any issues. Maybe 2 weeks. I think the last official thing we did was 2 weeks after the last day of the semester, or last day for us. For some reason, the foreign teachers have a slightly shorter semester. Anyway, so maybe the beginning of January, and maybe stay for a month. I don't know. This is just me telling you all so you know my plans, because this is a vlog, and that's why you guys tune in. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of my plan for the next few months. Got to finish out this semester. It may turn out not to end until the end of July. If the students come back, which is a definite possibility, they will come back at the end of May. When they come back, most of them will probably be quarantined, and then there will be no classes for 2 weeks or so, just to make sure no additional cases crop up. Once that's over, then we will resume classes, and the way my supervisor put it was we will have the semester extended until the end of July, and then I guess finals at the end of that, which it kind of throws off my plan a little bit. My plan was to end the week of June 19th, stay until the end of June, because that's when the first contract ends, and then travel in July and August. Well, not travel, just go to America, take care of my shit, and come back. But that's where COVID is a fucker, because it's killing people and making things happen like quarantines. So anyway, yeah. So that was my original plan, was to come back at the beginning of July, stay until maybe halfway through August, and then come back here, get myself sorted out, and resume teaching. Trying to think if there's anything else to say. Don't want to repeat myself. Should have had note cards, but I kind of like the randomness of the vlog, and it's almost 48 minutes, which is about the same amount of time. Yeah, so back to Dragon's Bane for a quick moment. I posted this on some social media, but I figure I'll talk about it now. The novel is set in China. Well, partially set in China. When I'm in China. And one of the antagonists in the novel is a lung disease, which kills dragons. And this was all written before I ever even thought of coming to China. Like, most of Dragon's Bane, the novel series, is set, and I just need to write it. Other than the minor details that happen in the chapters themselves, the overarching storyline is set. And I had that set years ago, like back when even before I started the actual novel. That was part of the thing. So that's just a funny anecdote to end on. Like, I did say it was prophecy, didn't I? Alright, so I'm coming back up with my water bottle. I'm walking 48 minutes, almost 49 minutes. I feel like this is a long enough vlog, and probably, maybe you'll enjoy it. I'm not going to edit it. Why edit it? I don't want to edit it. So, thank you. If you've made it this far, thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. Like and subscribe to my YouTube. I'm on Twitter, Asriel Johnson. On Instagram, Asriel Tobias Johnson. Facebook, Asriel Johnson Author. I should have got the same username for all of those, but they're close enough. You can remember it. Patreon, if you feel like you want to give me some Patreon stuff. And then Writing Nights, too. Give Writing Nights some Patreon love, too. Writing Nights on Patreon, Asriel Johnson. Yeah, Asriel Johnson on Patreon. Yeah, so do that. I'm going to go. I'm going to finish my workouts. And like I said, if you actually watch the whole thing, thank you very much. And I will speak to you soon. Bye.